Hello, welcome to another installment of Comparative Reasoning. Your hosts, Sedrik and Sidra here. Still doing this Twitter bullshit that's going on. This one, I'm going to call this one out because it's innocuous. I assume it is. It's from Ebony Skeptic, at Ebony Skeptic. This was an hour ago, but I can post something and it'll say 9 minutes ago, so I don't know the timing.
Yeah.
And she says, and I have to give some, I guess, little back detail on this. She said, but are we going to ignore violence within the black community? You talking about women is irrelevant to the point she was making. And I am assuming she is Cynthia G, who started her video off with hating black men, just hating them. You know, they can't hear you nodding, Sidra.
I know. They can't hear me nodding.
So it starts off with that. But the story, the main story was about this guy that got into a gang shootout, or a gang decided to shoot at him while his little girl was with him, and she got shot by one of the other rival gang members. Now, I haven't read the story. I haven't seen anything on the story, but that was the point of the story. And I couldn't get that far in because a minute and 27 seconds in, this woman, after her long intro, she's just black male bashing. And that's all she was doing. So I'm like, I need to address this first. You know, I can't get past that. That's the trash can right there. That's the lid of the trash can serving you a steak. You don't want that steak. You can't get to the meat of the story because the trash can lid is in the way of you enjoying it.
Yes, exactly.
That might have been a great steak. That trash can lid could be sterile as a clean room. But it's a trash can lid, and it comes with the optic. It's, you know, so there are optics here. I couldn't get that far because I had to address that. And that's what I was addressing. I was like, I could not make it that far because she pissed me off. I wanted to throw Cynthia G out of a window. I was pissed. This is your opening video? You know, black men causing violence, and that's what they do, and that's what they're prone to do, and all this other crap. You know, so yeah, I was just not happy with that at all. And the whole subject was, it's not saying that you are the problem, so why are you upset? Which is why I did the first video, and I cut my promo, and I did the thing like that, having to, you know, pretty much recall what I said before, you know, with some additions, but still, that's why I did that. And on Twitter, it's, fuck this shit, it's Sunny Secular and Ebony Skeptic. Ebony Skeptic is talking very genuine. Sunny Secular is doing the cheerleading, mean girl like things. Oh, she says something that might have called you out or something, I'm going to like it. Anything against you, I'm going to like. That is just weak. It's weak. I went through that crap on Facebook, and I'm like, this is it? This is life. This is the pinnacle. This is the fight to make sure that you like something that might get over on somebody else. That's it? And to throw a bunch of emojis instead of actually buckling down, doing some introspective thinking and being like, I wonder, does this make sense? You know, is it fair? Is it not fair? Compare and contrast. You know, have some personal self-accountability for the situations instead of I'm defending, I'm on guard, I'm at a high-level defense, or I just see red and I go right for the throat. I had to deal with some energy vampire months ago that did the same thing, and she was a rageaholic. Okay? And that didn't end well. And I told her, I haven't been mean to you. This is the girl months ago. I haven't been mean to you. You done cursed me out, insulted me, and everything. I said, unless you can apologize, don't you fucking talk to me. And she stopped talking to me. She blocked me. She canceled her YouTube account because she knew that I was pretty much the only one that was still watching her. And I'm like, if I'm not cursing you out, if I'm not being mean to you, there's no need to throw up silly emojis, try to trap or corner me or anything like that. No need for it. No need. You don't hurt your allies. You don't hurt your neutrals. You do hurt your enemies if they provoke you. I think that's decent. That's just my opinion. No, fuck that. That's a fact. No, because opinions are neither here nor there. But, and I got this some notification. I'll check and, but yeah, Ebony Skeptic asked that question, and I just want to give some background so you can see what I'm going through on Twitter, because I decided to break my rule and fucking respond to shit and give my thoughts to someone that I thought could handle my thoughts. And now this person says the burden is on me. Hey, look, Sunny Second done slammed the door in my face, threw her hands up. Oh, well, to your thoughts and your feelings and in your opinions. Oh, well, slam the door in your face. You're just a crying person of the patriarchy. I'm going to throw all this business out there because it's not fair that I'm taking this and I'm just trying to get some decent minded conversation. And I haven't attacked her. I have not called her out of name. I have not undermined her thoughts. I have not undermined her opinions. I have not undermined anything about her. But I'm catching this. And because I responded to her tweet, the burden is on me. So I got to deal with it, I suppose. You know. But honestly, I'm gonna respond to Ebony Skeptic. I like justice, actual justice, and I'm gonna call people out. All my business is pretty much in the street, except for where I live, what schools I've gone to, and what jobs I've worked. You know, pretty much I'm an open book. In any case, so yeah, the whole thing about we are going to ignore violence within the black community. You talking about women? The name of community where there is no violence.
That's what I want to speak on.
Go ahead, girl. I'm gonna see what this notification is. There's two of them now. Can you just read
the question one more time?
She says, but are we going to ignore violence in the black community? You talking about women is irrelevant to the point she was making. And that got a heart from Sunny Secular.
So let's talk about it. Are you going to ignore violence in the black community? No, violence in the black community should not be ignored. And this guy, who I guess is a gangbanger, went on IG and said that he wouldn't die for his daughter. Okay, people are feeling a way about that. They are reacting. Oh, it's terrible. He's not a man. This is indicative of what's going on in the black community. Okay, so let's stop and look at the black community. So this guy was not born from his mother's womb, flashed some gang colors, and now he's a gang member. Nobody wants to think about chronology. Nobody wants to take a time to think about which came first, the chicken or the egg. They want to eat them scrambled eggs, but they don't care where they came from. The problems in the black community were not created by black men alone. These black men were at some point black boys. Why do people join gangs? Why do they live and die on 7 or 8 blocks that they don't even own? They ain't got no skin or cash in the game. Their name ain't on no deeds. Why do they seek out support and comfort from others, so much so they'll be loyal enough to do violence to the other people in the community? What is wrong? What has happened to these people? Something has happened, and nobody wants to look at the origin. This country is overly punitive. All they want to do is punish the action, but never deal with what caused the action. Why did that person get there? That is how you address the violence in the black community. You address the damage in the black community. You address the trauma in the black community, the racism, the poverty,
the colorism.
If you are broke and you are starving, and maybe you're responsible for your siblings because your mother, who's also broke, may have turned to drugs to cope, or maybe you got a single father who's doing all they can but they can only do so much because they're trying to work to support you. And you got a bunch of siblings under your belt. Yeah, you can go to school, but that's not getting you fed. That's not keeping you warm. That's not having your back.
People in this position have no power.
They have no power and no options. And so if you encounter someone who is in a gang and they are offering you that camaraderie, that protection, that loyalty, that meal, very basic things to survival, safety and food are very basic things to survival. But unfortunately, in a lot of black neighborhoods, that is not and cannot be provided by the parents who it should ideally be provided, but they've got their own issues and traumas they're dealing with trying to survive. And so they suffer, and then their children suffer, and they seek comfort and safety wherever they can, and it's not the best, and it's always not the best option. So yes, this dude got up on IG and said something that can be deemed very deplorable. People are upset, they're up in arms. I don't know what they want done to him. I don't know what them being upset with this guy is going to do. But we need to dial it back and figure out why this is the problem in the black communities, and don't just lay it at every black man's feet. Because he didn't make it. They didn't make the world that we're living in. They didn't make their circumstances. They're just trying to whittle through the best way they can. And especially with it being black men in a black neighborhood, black people in a black neighborhood, they're not going to get the help they need to sort through the problems they need to be better. Because they're damaged, but they have to act like they ain't. They got to be hard. They got to put up a facade. Don't just think about how good your eggs are and not pay attention to where they came from. This happened for a reason. If you can fix the reasons, find out the reasons that things are wrong in the black community and fix them, guess what'll happen? They'll be right.
An update per se on this Twitter bullshit. I call it bullshit, not the people, but the way it is. I didn't, doors under my face, oh well, and stuff, and then boy bye. So I'm like, okay, we're done then. That's how I see it. But Ebony Skeptic says, and I also disagree with the YouTuber as well. While she's strawmanning black men, she also stated a fact within it. That's what Sonny Secular was talking about. Come on, even a broken clock is right twice a day. You're too fixated on the straw man, because a straw man is something when it doesn't exist. And she didn't create necessarily a straw man. She's, what did you say? Talking points.
Talking points.
Because that's what man.
Black men being the problem in black communities. Ain't no fathers in the home. All that stuff is talking points created by conservative, racist whites to galvanize white people on their side against poor black communities.
And then you got the black women that spread how black men ain't nothing but dogs. And they spread, well, if you're going to find a black man, he better be worth something. And they spread all this negativity. You get those black women that say this. Not all, but you get those that do. And then their daughters grow up hearing it.
It's the exact same thing. What came first? Why would you say that? As a black woman, why would you say it's all the black men's fault? As a black woman, why would you say all men are dogs? As a black woman, why would you say that? Did you get damaged by a black man? Did you get damaged by a black mother who got damaged by a black man?
Nobody ever damaged me.
Who got damaged by a mother who's it goes back and it goes back and it goes back, and it's a generational cycle of what the hell. And so you have to stop it. Stop reacting to the things that they say and figure out a way to fix why they were driven to say it. What put them there?
And when you ask people why, you ask them those deep, hard questions, who, what, when, where, why. When you ask them that, they shut down. They go, well, it is. But look, my answer right now is, I said, are you sure you know what I'm fixated on? We're talking about and calling out all the Twitter crap at this moment. And that's all I wrote. And there's something else that came in. Sunday Secular liked what she said because, cheerleading. People get stuck in that. Okay, chill out, dude. I'm not interested in your videos. You're Padre, you're over here picking on my friend. Here we go. Here we go. Yep, you're over here picking on my friend about something you clearly can't comprehend. Why are you so hostile? Oh my God. It's not even about unless Ura okay with black gangbangers. Are we not allowed to condemn black gangbangers? Now that is a straw man. Mm-hmm. That is a straw man.
So this is the point of the conversation.
Now
you get sucked into
Ebony Skeptic. Oh my God. Well, so I thought she was genuine. I thought she was cool. She's popular. She's got a massive following. I don't give a fuck. Because all of that was bullshit. All of that was just bullshit. And I promise you. Oh man. Ebony Skeptic, like 4 tweets you were mentioning. You came on my tweet. I didn't come on yours. The burden is on you. Yep, it's the whole. Yeah, I'm not even. And see, I never want to be one of the people that's like, this is beneath me. I'm better than you and all that. But to be honest with you, how can I not feel that way when they're acting so unbecoming? Picking on? Seriously? Picking on?
Nobody attacked.
If anyone found this stuff, they would not find me picking on anything. They wouldn't find me picking on anything. What they would find is, hey, look at this. It's about this 7-year-old girl that got killed, and her father says, I wouldn't die for my daughter. And I'm like, what the hell? So I go and look in, and she was raped or something like that. That's what, and then I go into YouTube and I put in 7-year-old raped and murdered or something by dad. And then all this other stuff come up with 3-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 18-year-olds, and others that were murdered, beheaded, and stuff in various countries and stuff like that. And so, in short, I gave that to her. I was like, this is all I said, is there a link or something? And she's like, Cynthia G. And I'm like, my first thought was, sounds familiar, but okay, Sunday Secular. I'm going to just trust it because it's Sunday Secular. So I click on it, and I'm like, getting a bad vibe, but let me go ahead and listen. And then all that crap starts, and I'm like, ew, nasty. How could someone stomach this? You got to hate men for real to be able to stomach listening to this part. Because normally what happens is you're like, I want to hear this video. I want to see this video. But then that happens. Something terrible happens. And you're like, I'm not watching anymore. And
everybody else.
Chill out, dude. I'm not interested in your videos.
Everybody else
can fuck yourself. I'm sorry. I'm not interested in your videos. If you make videos or anything like that, and you got the gall to say that means you got a high. You an elitist in some form or fashion. You got to be an elitist to say something like that. I'm not interested in your videos. Whoa. Okay. Thank you for the honesty, but the reason she's saying that is because she's being a cheerleader. I'm going to defend my girlfriend. Ain't that what? I'm going to defend my girlfriend. I don't know what y'all going on. That's what I talk about. Guys don't get that. If the girl says something, you know damn well everybody else going to dogpile on the dude. That's why I say that stuff. But
yeah, so in this instance, Cynthia G said what she said, and you were supposed to eat it.
Yeah,
and that's just it. But if some dude,
Sunday Secular like that too.
If some dude went up there and was talking shit about the females, they wouldn't like it, and they would have something to say about it. So it's not fair and it's not equal. No one is picking on Sunday Secular. She is a grown black woman and is not in need of your defense.
She is not acting like it either.
She should be able to defend herself. We've heard her. She can defend herself. You don't have to protect her. She's not a child. And there's nothing to protect anyway.
If I was attacking her.
But the whole point of this has been lost because you could not be equivalent. You could not be equivalent. You could not see that what this woman said. I didn't like it either. As a black man, Sedrik didn't like it. He's justified in not liking it. you know, for lack of a better word, it triggered him. If you heard some shit, it might trigger you. And you might go off on a tangent, but you know the difference is we could be able to hear what triggered you and be like, damn, that's real fucked up.
Yep.
We can give you that. You all can't give Sedrik this. You can't give me this. So the conversation is over. Y'all want what you want. You said what you said. You reacted how you reacted. You boy-buyed. You closed doors. And that's it. There's no more room for conversation because you cannot have the empathy enough to see this side. You want us to be like, oh, just overlook the bullshit straw man that is a discredit to your entire race and gender. And look at what the dude said about his daughter, which doesn't amount to a hill of beans because what we going to do? What we going to do? We're going to go to his house, drag him and tar and feather him? What we going to do? Put him on trial for words? What we going to do? Resurrect his daughter? We can't do shit.
See, that's one of the last things I was asking Sonny. What are you going to get? What's the end game? What's the goal? Okay, she's dead.
And it sucks.
And he's like, I wouldn't die for my daughter.
And that sucks.
What the fuck am I going to do?
There's nothing anyone can do about it but be mad.
And being mad.
And that doesn't help anybody. Doesn't help anybody. Doesn't change anything. Doesn't stop the violence in black communities. It does nothing. So why don't we talk about something that can do something instead? Do something that would do something. Instead of, you know what? You need to be mad with me about this, and if not, then you got a problem. As Ebony Skeptic says now, maybe I wish she would just type like she went to school. Maybe she's leaving out apostrophes. Maybe oh my God, it's your argument, not you are argument, but maybe your argument is irrelevant from the premise. She was talking about A and you were talking about Z, and you're flipping out over something she wasn't talking about. I'm flipping out. But she was. If you actually read her statement, you'll see that you'll see what she was talking about, but you want to argue. I got that from so many people growing up. You just want to argue. You just want to argue. It's like, you said some stupid shit. Thinking about my teachers, you said some stupid shit. I ask you how, explain why, so I can understand. It's like, you know what? Nobody wants to argue with you. And I'm like, man, how is it an argument if I ask you literally a question that I direly need an answer towards? You know, I need an answer. I want to argue. Am I naturally combative? Not necessarily. I had to learn to be that way. I don't like bullies. And this up here, this is bullying. This is two people. This is one person fucking with somebody wrongfully, playing the victim. And then the friend comes in. And instead of really looking at it objectively, they take a tribe side. And it's like, I'm against you. And that's it. That's it. Conversation was over after that. Because anything after that is some dumb shit, argument shit that she's build a straw man, knock it down and say you won. And then say they came up, literally picking on Sunny Secular. Literally, after all this time, don't you think it'd be stupid and really out of character for me to be like, man, we just did this collab and it was great. You know what I'm gonna do, Sonny? I'm gonna make you feel bad. Yeah, that would be smart. That don't make sense. And being triggered, yes. You want to jump on me? You're triggered and LOL about it. Tell me something. Were you not triggered about that story? Were you not triggered about me not just jumping on your goddamn bandwagon? Is that, I mean, really? Because that sounds like they were triggered to me. Because they jumped on me quick. They ganged up quick. Yep. Hey, you said something against comparative reasoning. Hey, I'm going to like that. Hey, you said something against comparative reasoning. I'm going to like that. I'm defending my friend. As you said, Sidra, she's a grown-ass woman. She don't need to be defended. She can take care of herself. She's been doing it for a long time. So you come into her defense, it's pointless. Yeah. It proves nothing and is led here. And see, that's why I said I envy people that do stupid shit and move on like it didn't happen. Because this right here is something that I have to say, these two yahoos will be able to just LOL and whatever about, and I ain't even studying you, all that shit, and just walk off saying, yeah, he was crazy,
he was flipping out, yada, yada, yada. That's what they'll do. And that's what they'll try to remember. And somewhere in the recesses of that little part of intelligence that they don't want to use, where they question reality. What is the true reality? And they'll wonder what words were said. What words were said? Because when you know me, you know I approach you decently. You know that. You bring up a subject, you bring up a topic, I'll tell you about it. And if me insulting Cynthia G offends you, you have a deeper problem that I don't even want to touch. You got a deeper problem. Man, there are people I love out there that I'll never meet. It's just I'm that much of a fan. But if someone talks shit on them, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Don't care. Don't care. You know? If Cynthia G is paying your bills, helping you get orgasms, and doing other stuff, man, I get you.
You got reason.
I understand.
You got investment.
Yep. I'd be like, okay, no matter how wrong you are, I'm going to say I'm wrong and I'm going to move on. I'm wrong. And that's it. Because I get that. That's some loyalty. That's, yeah. That's what that is.
But I'm fairly sure that that's not the case.
I'm pretty much dead too. You know. No, flipping out. This is not me flipping out. Not even close. This ain't even on the spectrum of me flipping out. No. And I gotta honestly say, this is something I've never wanted to say about this, because this is y'all want to see real time how Sedrik gets fucked over in life because I'm surrounded by people that are like these two. That's what happened with my life. No accountability, no ability to reason in real time. And it pisses me off that these two are acting like this. It does, because it gives stupid things that I want to push away credibility. I hate when movies can be right about something. I really do hate that shit. Because art imitates life. It should never be life imitates art. And when you can say, I think of a man, I take away reason and accountability. I know he was saying that to get them the fuck away from him. But god damn it, that just happened tonight. Unfortunately,
it's not accurate because men are equally unaccountable.
Men are equally fucking stupid. That's why I never say women are and men are. No.
Everybody is.
People are fucking idiots. I'm a fucking idiot on my levels. And the difference between me and most, I try to be better. I don't just walk off into the sunset saying I'm right. I don't. I know where my faults might have been. And I try to correct that shit. Even if the person can't stand me and don't want to talk to me, I have no problem setting the record straight and saying, I fucked up right here. My bad. We can go on not talking anymore. I've done it recently. It's just, be better. I mean, here's something to get at your pride. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be reasonable, trying to be accountable. Very accountable for myself, what I say and do. You as a woman, are you really going to let a man be self-improving and you not? Ooh, that's got to get somewhere. Yeah, you probably don't even care anyway. I ain't gonna lie. Why would a woman care? Men go out, gawk over women and stuff so much. Woman like, dude, do I really gotta think about this shit? I can go get a guy just by sitting outside and looking up at the sun with a mask on. Remove the mask and you got a tragedy. But Hey, that was funny in the Boondocks, all right? So in any case, I'm just saying, stop projecting. Think about what you're doing. Because, as I've always asked, just like Sidra asked earlier, what's the end game? Because, my last one, you fight these little piddly fights that don't need to be fought. Because there's no battle. You can't say somebody's doing something that they're not doing and then build up the straw man, knock it down and say you won and walk off to the sunset not learning a goddamn thing. That's why we can't have nice things. And you really want to know something? That is why we do have so much black on black crime. Because black people don't ask why and wait for an answer. And when black people are asked why, they won't give the true answer. That's why. And it ain't just black people, it's white people too. Those white dudes, the white dudes that went and shot up areas killing white people. You never hear white on white crime with that, do you? It was a gunman. You don't know why he did what he did. Or she did what she did. But it happened. Took their own life. Left children and wife behind or something. Very humanized. And right now, because what I've seen on Twitter, how these two handled it, and how others are handling this black guy and his daughter, nobody is humanizing black people, not even black people. And if we can't even humanize each other, then how do you expect us to stop committing crimes against each other? You know, you gotta think about that. Fight the real fight. Find out why they gotta be on the corner. Find out why they gotta fight over, the blocks and stuff that don't belong to them. Find out why they gotta be protected. Find out why someone would even put their daughter in that situation. Matter of fact, ask if he even knew that situation would even gonna happen right then. It ain't like the dude just said, hey, it's gonna be a shootout here on 5th and Main. Come on, girl, let's go. So when people say he put his daughter in harm's way or he should have known better, think about if you're out there with your child or someone and some accident happens that you weren't thinking about. And then think about someone saying you should have known better. You should have known better about the things you didn't know could possibly happen at that time. Just think about that. That's why it's comparative reasoning. Because mainly nobody else wants to use any of theirs. That's pretty much the truth. So, it seems like Sidra's tapped out that she ain't got nothing else to say.
I don't. It just seems like all of this spiraled into nothing.
Yeah. And it was a Twitter war, a one-sided Twitter war, because I just took a beating. I lost the war. I wonder what they got out of it. I wonder what they got. Because you've got one with 1,200 subscribers. You got it on 2 accounts. And you've got one with, I don't know, probably gobs more. I wish I was that fucking privileged. To be able to just be willy-nilly and say some silly shit and get away with it unchallenged because reasons.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add.
Bubbles. When you're in them and you protect it and you realize, holy shit, if someone pops this bubble, I gotta face reality. I must make my bubble thicker. Yeah, you can slam the door in my face. You can say bye, boy, but remember, you're the one that did this, not me. And don't try to act like shit didn't happen, And go back and read the whole fucking timeline. Read everything. Find where I was insulting to you. Any of you. Find it. This has been Sedrik and Sidra for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.